And welcome to the Raw Review. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of Now Raw. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a mega quiz, of course, on wrestling culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's Raw. And you were concerned about this show following their Netflix debut last week. But, Michael Hamflett, you should have had zero miedo. No fear.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah, this is much better. Much better.
Power's back.
Never went away. Just few concerns at the tail end of 2024 that weren't made better by last week, any of the shows. But then this made it feel a little bit better. Like, just the kind of Raw I wanted to watch. As in,
just like you.
As in most Raws from the last couple of years,
yeah.
Ultimately, as opposed to what we got last week. Yeah, far better. Far, far better.
Better, not great for me. Not great by half.
I had a fantastic time watching
You
this
always
show.
do. You always do.
Really genuinely enjoyed this. I'd say more than last week.
Yeah.
Oh, well, just, Should we get into it?
Seeing that sort of sentiment tweeted like a lot today. Do you know what? I think this is better than Netflix debut. No
Last week was trash.
Absolute trash.
But let's get into it because we open with your favourite, that drone shot of the... That drone shot of the FAP Centre in San Jose.
Those simulator things you used to, like, I don't know if you get them anymore because they just have turned roller coasters into them, but it would be like a little spaceship exterior.
Oh, like at the Science Museum.
Yeah. You're on a roller coaster. It's like that, but in Fed buildings. It's like, whoa, I'll go through the crowd past the vending machines. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm scared at some point, when they do like that into the arena, someone's going to be like, I'm just going to go get some popcorn. Jesus Christ.
They absolutely can't do that shot, can they, when it all goes cold?
Oh,
imagine like just trying to keep the one side of the building. Don't go over there, like somebody staying in the wrong direction.
Copeland being the drone. We can't go to the other side.
Whoa.
Yes, hey.
We get a video package of...
drone on. But he can't be a drone.
I saw, by the way...
Duality of Cope.
It doesn't have to be for the thing that's already been established, obviously, because I know you two have got the pasty bet about Cope and Mox going to Revolution. But I did see that AEW are now selling an I Heart Chris Jericho t-shirt, and I feel like that should be a punishment for one of our bets. Like a big one. All three of us kind of have to be involved in that.
I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, I don't want to put money in Chris Jericho's pocket.
That's right. We'll take some from the What Culture coffers, but the loser has to wear it for.
Okay.
So like the staff social budget or something. It's like money well spent.
I've got access to that, so
don't
you worry. I'll sort it out.
Jericho's getting the resids.
Recap of Raw's Netflix debut. Very
skip. Not cool, skippable. I like this Netflix deal.
Yeah, because it doesn't buffer or anything, does it?
Yeah.
This Netflix is great, isn't it? Like honestly, man, improved viewing experience.
It was like, Seth and Punk and The Rock, and it was like, what you gonna do? Anyway, moving quickly on, it just flew past Hulk Hogan, who's still got his face on the Saturday Night's Main Event stuff for now.
He's pushing for the heel turn, isn't he? That's what he wants out of it.
What a worker. What a worker. An asshole.
Then we see a black Chevrolet roll up to Raw, and it has CM Punk in. He walks out, and he does the walk through gorilla into the arena. Huge reaction, of course, gets in the ring, puts over San Jose, acknowledges the firefighters and first responders, of course, in California, the surrounding states, everyone who's sending to help with the awful fires in LA, of course, Canada, Mexico, all that. But he talks about how it's good to be alive in San Jose, and asked everyone if they watched last week when he defeated Seth Rollins. Says, look, I've got a lot on my plate now, but Seth Rollins isn't one of them. Last year at the Rumble, first televised match in WWE in a decade. He didn't go my way. My tricep decided to take a vacation, and it all fell apart, basically. I didn't know what my future held. My dreams were getting away from me. I couldn't see them. A lot of people can't see the WrestleMania sign. Yeah. If you didn't, he hammered it home a fair few more times.
4 cracks at it, didn't you?
People can't see the WrestleMania sign that I'm pointing to, but I can. I'm going to make my setback my biggest comeback. Speaking of comebacks, John Cena, I see you, I always have. Cena has declared for the Royal Rumble, and now so has CM Punk. He is going to throw 29 people over the top, whether they can see him or not, and his music's going to play. In fact, play my music. That's the music that plays, of course.
Yeah, they all sing a song.
Yeah.
They all sing a song.
A 4K sound on Netflix, it really comes through, doesn't it? Crowd love it.
It's Seth Rollins' music, in case you're unaware. Punk's annoyed. He asks why Rhea Ripley couldn't interrupt him.
You like birds, Phil. What does he do this
I
for?
find that so off-putting, that sort of thing.
He's your favourite, mate.
I know. And that it shows what an unbiased and, like, rational commentator I am.
Rational.
That's correct.
Oh, Mr. Triple H, you've got 1 million things I love about you. Oh.
Million dreams to keep me awake. Like the
A million things,
you.
Mr. Lovek. Suck my f***ing dick.
Triple H, the greatest showman.
Indeed he is.
No, he isn't. Indeed, he is not.
No, he certainly was never that. He's many things. He was never that. I think I could do with a bit less of that. I'm balanced on CM Punk. I accept him warts and all, but that's a pretty big wart, and you always
Why
get...
does he keep doing it?
I don't know.
Well, get it. You like to signal your virtue.
Yeah.
Top lad. Rollins comes out, removes his shades and reveals a black eye, to which Punk mouths, not bad. Rollins says, look, I know you're not happy to see me, but you can't be surprised. I said last week, win, lose or draw, I'd be standing here in the ring.
Why would you want Rhea Ripley to interrupt him?
She's the world champion.
No. I'm sorry. I should, stress that it was a rhetorical question mainly. Does he want to wrestle Rhea Ripley? Does he? What's his game? Like, what sense did that make other than I'm a big advocate for women?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, he's such an asshole.
Yeah.
Why? Don't say anything.
Rollins says he's a man of his word. If I didn't show up when times got hard, I'd be CM Punk. And Punk's like, I'd still be the winner though, right? Rollins says, I'd rather be the worst version of myself than any version of you. I've lost
Great line.
It was decent.
Great.
Lost a lot of big matches.
Worst version of
WrestleMania.
Seth is the best version of Seth, of course.
Last week was the worst loss.
Worst wrestler in the world, period. I do mean the best.
Yeah.
Last week,
Is that the same, isn't it?
last week was the worst loss
There's
of
a
his
daft
career.
outfit, wrestles a match that's just all right.
The bruiseness.
He's never been more disappointed in himself when he underestimated Punk and couldn't get the job done. But the only way he can find redemption is to flush Punk's WrestleMania dreams down the toilet. He's not winning the Royal Rumble. I'm winning the Royal Rumble, says Seth, and I'm going to take great pride in chucking you over the top rope on the way to the main event of WrestleMania. And Punk says, well, all I can see is a guy who can't beat me, so you got to take the easy road and throw me over the top. And then Drew McIntyre's music hits. He comes out and Punk's even more annoyed. And Drew says, just when I think you can't get more disgusting, selfish and self-serving, you top yourself. Punk says, look, last time we were face-to-face, you were busted open, tears in your eyes, begging me for life. You take one step closer, it's going to take more than 15 staples to close your head. Drew says, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to sis. Seth says,
Fuck me that.
Seth says, what Punk said, basically, come down, I'll stomp you right into the mat. And Drew tells Seth to look in the mirror. We're alike, we are. He says the difference is between you two in that ring is Punk actually admits what a piece of crap he is. Seth acts like a big leader, but it's just an act. He's all talk. He talks about how you can't let Roman get power, but you did nothing last week. I stopped Jey from interfering, and you lost your bloody match because you were focused on that instead. Rollins says, look, I've got no patience for your crap. And Punk says, yeah, let's have a bare-knuckle fight then. And the two of them get ready to fight. Drew walks down and asks San Jose if they want to see this triple threat tonight. And then he says, no! Why would I ever do that? There's a bigger problem here. Roman's playing chess whilst everyone else is playing checkers. I'm a reluctant hero. Don't call me a hero, but I'm a reluctant hero, says Drew. I'll step up for the locker room. I found there was a match that I could stop Roman getting his world title. Oh, wait, there is. And then Drew, along with Seth and Punk, also declares for the Royal Rumble.
Love this. The business is back. This was Liquid January Fed. where all the big stars that are available that don't have belts declare for the Rumble. And with that comes the excitement of the potential WrestleMania, like sort of permutations Triple H could do with booking that excitement and actually making it matter on the night. The jury's still out on if he can do that. But yet again, like third year in a row, we find ourselves with this like really, really interesting slate of high-level wrestlers that could win this thing, or at least allow you to sort of fantasy book several big matches, with there being 2 titles and 2 nights at WrestleMania.
You snuck some more names in there. I didn't realise it actually declared for it.
Jey Uso.
Cole, it said Jey Uso. LA Knight
was first, wasn't he? He did it on SmackDown before he had his US title match. So I love this. It's this is good when the product's good, ultimately. Like these, you could have had years and years and years of promos like this, but when your stars don't feel like stars, who cares who's entering the Royal Rumble? Because who cares about who's going to win it? These people, you really, really feel that they believe that they want to win it and they believe they should get the spot. Like CM Punk more than the other two, but to know Drew and Seth and to know the characters, they want it just as much. The overlaps were nice. And we talked yesterday about the tree. And WWE needs a new tree. It does need a new tree, but the old tree is still fighting for that title because there was good use of the current tree in Roman Reigns on last night's Raw, and this was like the first part of it.
It's getting a bit much, I think.
Seth getting so locked into the CM Punk thing and needed to be reminded of the tree played into everything else later on, which I really, really liked. I was like, the tree's still got some branches on it. Who knew? I do want a new tree, but this was good use of the tree. Should we explain the tree?
Yes, if people are unaware.
For the viewers.
So, myself and Sidgwick were having a conversation on Friday about the potential cooling of the Fed long-term in 2025, and it was based on the idea that Roman Reigns, as a tree, has allowed so many storyline branches to grow over the last couple of years.
Yeah, how the characters interact with other characters, and how they've responded to Roman and all the rest of it.
He's lost his title.
He's the fulcrum.
Yes, he's lost his title, but there have been so many other like stories that have been able to spring from that, and it's feeling like they're starting to run out, and they need somebody else to fill that spot. Cody is a potential candidate for the tree because he's currently got the title. Punk,
everyone's
in
got a
God centered
relationship.
terms, he's a perennial because
everyone's got a relationship or a conflict or an issue or a history with CM Punk.
Yeah, but you kind of, especially post WrestleMania, John Cena could do it on a temporary basis, I guess, but certainly post WrestleMania, there needs the feeling of like not everything can kind of keep bouncing off of that. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can establish one of them.
In terms of this, it was a promo train. I couldn't decide watching it whether it was a cute idea. It was like that running gag of how can they get you on the 17th version of this joke. After all their business is squared off and Seth's in the rear view and now Punk can finally go and pursue a championship, you do it again. I thought that was quite a cute gag, realistically. And if you look, I'm surprised it hasn't been the supercut on X yet they've done it before, but maybe they'll add to it of the initial, it's Seth. I thought Punk did a really good job of like, are you joking? Him again? I've just beat him last week. That apoplectic, I can't believe this is happening again. Good sell from Punk. At the same time, as cute as that was, and as necessary, I guess, the reminder of these things don't just end. I mean, they bloody should realistically, but they don't.
Seth said it. He put the words out there the other week, didn't he?
Like, look, at the very least, they're building a decent spot at the Royal Rumble. They're building it, okay? At the same time, Punk has done this so often, this eye roll, and it's Seth. Who can be arsed with Seth Rollins? He's just bland. He's not interesting. He's never been anything special, and I've beat him as well. Now when Seth comes out, I'm sharing Punk's reaction, and I don't know how deliberate this malfeasance was, but the idea of like, it is Seth, and I am bored by him. I think Punk's done an all too effective job of articulating that Seth Rollins is really, really bland.
I think Seth's turning, so I don't think it matters as much, but
he is. He should. I mean, he's a total geek, so he should turn.
I want Seth in the Rumble to hit Punk with the DDT that Drew hit him with last year that injured his tricep.
Oh, they'll have to revisit that.
Is it like
either Punk or either Seth or Drew himself?
I think it should be Seth because they're playing with this idea that Drew's a bit of a devil on his shoulder, and Seth's goal, as of last night, really was anyone but you.
Yeah.
Like, I want to win it, but my real goal is to stop you. And
Yeah,
the idea that he goes for the exact same way, the method that Drew used, I think would be nice.
And is the thing going to be both Seth and Drew want to be the man to eliminate Punk, and that's the reason that neither of them do?
Possibly.
And then they suddenly realise, wait a second, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
And then you might have a team of bastards.
I don't hate... Like, there's two ways of looking at this, isn't there? There's one from the fiction and the characters and the continuity and the idea, as Hamflett points out, that Seth has, in fact, said, oh, it's not over my head and I'm becoming Drew and I'm getting fixated on CM Punk and the way in which Drew got fixated on Punk and indeed Roman. It's all nice from the fiction and the character point of view. From that political, what really matters in WWE at the top of that card point of view, Punk is now going, phew, free of them. Obviously, you'll get the jump scare at the Rumble, but I'm kind of free of them. And now I can go on to either Cody, Roman, Gunther,
Cena. The Cena stuff was very Roman Reigns at the Survivor Series, wasn't it? It was like, I want my name with those guys, not these guys. Like, you watched it happening.
But now I'm watching these guys on Raw every week. It's on them to do something interesting now. It's on them to do something interesting. Punk thinks they're boring. I think they're boring.
I think Drew's back onto something with this Roman thing, He now gets to... I think so. I'm not saying he's going to get the match. He's definitely not going to get a WrestleMania match with Roman. But this feels like it feels very natural to start with. This, like, moving from the Punk, I'm over you. But, like, in fact, the thing you're not over is the thing that goes back even further than CM Punk. It goes back to Clash at the Castle 2022 and beyond. And makes sense of the tree. But there will be a match down the line with Drew and Roman that will be the biggest thing Drew's done. Since Punk at Hell in a Cell, and then the last time he fought Roman. So that character feels, I don't know, like balanced again. It's where it needs to be off the back of a very significant loss. I think at Drew McIntyre. He's not going to get it. He's not going to get it at WrestleMania. He's not. But it's not just about WrestleMania, is it? If you're a Drew McIntyre, you've got to stick in that main event. To your point, like, you've got to prove your worth out there pretty much every week. It's so competitive, and like, I do foresee a big Roman Reigns match down the line for this heel Drew McIntyre in a dynamic they've never explored.
Yeah,
like the babyface Roman and the heel Drew is
maybe
he's
not winning it.
Probably not.
Yeah,
but you don't know. I guess you don't know where the characters are at by the time you get there, do they? And some of them are banking on that. Someone gets to beat Roman Reigns in this comeback at some point and get an enormous rub off that. Punk still wants that, doesn't he? So.
Exciting to see where this goes next. I really like this as a start to the show. It gave me a great deal of confidence going forward. And then Chad Gable comes out. He's obviously got the match with the best luchador in the world, or best one that Adam Pearce can find. And
Hechicero.
We see, no, better than that. We see on our feed, don't we?
What's that meme? Is it the notice where it's got the two O's?
Yeah.
Noticing that they're saying best lucha, but Hechicero's nowhere near the building.
We saw on our feed, didn't we, him cut a promo, but I'm fairly certain that was not for our American
We get it all on our Netflix.
Yeah, we got like a bit of the Judge Street
Too bloody
trash.
much of anything.
Street trash just winding up the crowd. Rey Mysterio putting over.
Chad did say he wants to win a singles title.
Yes.
They don't throw that stuff away anymore, do they? That feels like,
I hope that happens.
They threw away half the stipulations last week, mate. But they don't throw that away.
A different fed last week.
We've
covered that. It's
a different fed. It's the same fed.
Different needs. Netflix needs last week.
But
this week was for fans.
Who will Chad Gable's mystery opponent be?
It's Penta.
It is. It's the worst kept secret in the business, according to Michael Cole.
That was a good bit of, as I saw it anyway, a good bit of legend hall. Just getting out there yesterday, just so immediately everybody was going, I saw some merch over here, did they?
Yeah.
You could like immediately. It was like, obviously, as you would imagine, a WWE marketing rollout for a character like Penta. We all talked about at the time. It was guaranteed to do it before he's even debuted on TV for the benefit of dominating the discourse before he's even appeared on Raw. Yeah. It's like that's shrewd PR, man. Get on it.
Pretty
like,
shrewd
levels,
pretty
isn't it?
As Sample points out, people are going to say, "Well, how long does it take AEW to release a mask?"
Yeah.
How are AEW's t-shirts?
Yeah.
Then sure enough, you got that picture of Penta's t-shirt. Sure enough, right next to Chris Jericho's terrible one.
Oh God!
Could they not do I Heart CJ in like
New York,
actual New York? Because he's the king of New York.
It's a far better design.
They absolutely, honestly,
the t-shirt company has never delivered on that promise. Does it
something
really?
Needs to happen. Something needs to happen, man.
Sidgy.
Hello, Nicholas.
I should have mentioned this yesterday. On your right arm is a little tiny white thread that's been driving me mental since. Go on.
Oh, I see it.
Get up.
Hang on. That was yesterday.
Yesterday, that was there as well.
You know what was it? You know what this little bad boy was in yesterday? Last night?
Some white thread?
No, a washing machine.
Oh,
How's that stayed on?
Look
It's
that-
a survivor.
this guy.
Can it come on? Oh.
Hey! It'd be funny if the entire cardigan just fell to pieces.
Unraveled.
Speaking of which,
It's a new
thoughts.
feature for the Raw Riddle. Loose threads. It's not about storylines. It's literal threads.
I mean, nothing to do with actual threads, though, is it? Because I hate that.
No.
The Instagram thing.
Threads.
Thoughts on Penta's gear?
Here at Instagram's like, people want you to join threads. It's like you get the notification that says, come on, someone who's joined threads. I don't know, Jimmy. I don't know. Jimmy wants you to join threads. Come on, who doesn't? You do. And I'm not going to do that.
Also tries to trick you sometimes, doesn't it? You think you're looking at like Instagram and he goes, "Oh, just click on this," and he goes, "I'll take you to Threads."
I
Whoa,
don't
where
want
we gone?
to go to threads. Where's the dank? Where's
Yeah, give me dank.
where is that?
I don't wish to
Where's
check
the dank,
threads.
love?
Yeah.
Come on, love, where's the dank? That's what I'm saying to Instagram. Thoughts on Penta's gear?
Oh, stunning. The best version
It's
of
always
Penta.
look good. Let's not do the thing.
Penta's like the best version of him is like the skeleton adjacent one. I liked the little like flourishes of red here and there. Penta in
Looked like
general
Penta.
looked great.
He's always looked great.
Penta has always
He's always
looked
looked Toyetic.
That's one of the reasons you sign him. Ultimately,
The
that's
Fed didn't invent it.
no.
It looks better though, almost on this.
No, come on. Yeah, you've got the all black Penta for when he's the worst, nastiest version of himself. I like just on occasion when he plays the Batman villain, who I can't remember the name of.
That Joker, baby.
But yeah, pick better spots, Penta, because you dropped that in like September. It's Halloween's in a month, mate. Like, no, he did. He looked the business and like looked.
Always does.
How do you say that? Like it's difficult when you talk about wrestlers.
If anything, if you look at the theme, they've downgraded his presentation. Just in front of more people.
Penta's great as a bigger luchador, but he has slimmed down a little bit, and I don't think that'll hurt in the initial stages. I never want to come across like we're body shaming or talking about people's physiques, but Penta is sometimes bigger and sometimes smaller, and I thought he looked a little bit small. He's been off for a little while. He's probably been able to get himself into the shape he wants to be in, and I thought that benefited, especially here, when we saw the type of match
When he raised up the pace. Huh? Slower.
No, like the opening exchanges were all like, I can beat you on the mat, Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Somebody's not doing that, are they, without a level of fitness?
He goes to do
Which then falls away shortly.
He goes to do the Zero Miedo thing right away. Gable cuts it off, back and forth, like you say. Big Penta chant. Gable runs right into a super kick. There's a Rana springboard leg drop. Gable rolls out the ring. Penta goes to do a big dive. But Gable's back in for a suplex and a 2 count. Gable's doing mountain punches on the turnbuckle, but Penta nails him and sets him up and does the cheeky Nando's kick, basically. Does that handstand thing into the corner to kick down to Gable, who's sat in the corner. Gable goes to the apron. Penta hits him with a kick. Springboard's out there, but Gable German suplexes him onto the apron.
Oh, my God.
Smashes his leg into the ring post and keeps targeting that. I think we go to a break somewhere in amongst all this. Penta avoided a diving headbutt, though, hit a super kick. Gable cut him off and belly-to-belly suplexed him into the turnbuckles. Penta comes back with a sling blade and a dive and a backstabber. Gable fires back with a German suplex to get a near fall. Penta hits a Mexican destroyer for a near fall. Gable, as always, takes an amazing bump on that. This is awesome chance. Penta gets the Zero Miedo thing, kicks Gable in the head, but Gable dragon screws him and puts him in an ankle lock. Penta manages to get out of it, though, snaps his arm with the sacrifice, and hits the Penta driver for the 1-2-3.
Do I want a promo included? No, we'll do the match first. I liked this as somebody that for years and years and years desperately wanted a Penta singles run in AEW and never really got it. There was a sense here that I'm not 100% convinced that Triple H can book this run, but here was the best chance of seeing one. Like, there were like flashes in AEW, and then I always go back to the Cody match. It was kill his finish codes, and there was kind of that, and it was never really it anyway. So this was nice to see him, because there is no Rey Fenix, and we know this for several months, there is no Rey Fenix, so there stands a chance of a Penta singles run and like sink or swim on North American mainstream, because I've like seen him swim like on Lucha Underground in a way that I still don't feel has been fully explored, even though that's going 10, 12 years back. So there's the good news. It's not even bad news, it's just indifferent news. I thought the match was fine. We both kind of wanted the kind of Kurt Angle Taz agent, and we didn't get that, but it wasn't a long match that ruined anything or exposed anything. And I don't want to step on your dick by talking about the promo, but like the building was with him, so ultimately, like job well done. Like the presentation we knew WWE would give him was great. He did look and feel instantly like a star, somebody they're going to tell you week on week on week is a star. So even if you don't buy it yet, you will do soon enough. So like lots and lots of good things to think about with Penta. But I think that's my point. I was thinking about it a bit more than I was feeling it within the body of the match, like truthfully. And I'm rooting for this push or whatever it is. Penta in WWE, I am rooting for it before the inevitable Lucha Brothers tag team that I think will be where this ends. So yeah, like a modest success and a pleasing watch. No negatives, no like absolute 10 out of 10 positives either.
I'm not fighting. I'm standing up for AEW. They've pissed me off. It's my preferred promotion at its peak. I promise I'm not doing the stand-up thing. If I'm a Ricky Starks, right, I'm having a fit watching this. If the rumors are true and he's not feeling quite all elite and he wants to go to the Fed, if those rumors are true and I'm Ricky Starks, or I won't use his name as a specific example. If I'm want-to-wear AEW star in his 30s, right, I'm watching this and going off, get me there now. Because, God damn it, the AEW tax is real. Because AEW just routinely, on a weekly basis, right, promotes matches of a significant higher quality than that last night. Every single week. Like the C2. There's like episodes of Collision. Collision! I hate Collision. I spiritually hate Collision, right? During the C2 week, there's like 3 matches better than this.
Yeah.
Right? His music is a downgrade. His entrance is exactly the same. This match, right? Without going into specifics. Going into specifics of this match before I talk about the AEW tax and what it means for how much WWE is just going to get away with things and how AEW is going to fight the biggest uphill struggle in this war, if you can even call it that. Penta, he's a bit rusty. He's not been at it for months and months. When was the last time he wrestled, did we establish?
It's got to be
4 months ago.
I was going to say 4 or 5 months, isn't it? Yeah.
So a bit of rust. I'm not that much of a dickhead. But he does this, like the timing. He does so Gable's like lying down by the ropes. And it's like you kind of need to be in the middle of the ring because Penta's going to springboard, turn around and do a leg drop in one smooth motion. It looks like shit. He gets kind of blown up a bit in those opening mat exchanges.
He found his wind, didn't he? As the match went on, but you could tell early doors.
That's the thing. It ended up being good. It ended up being good. It ended up being good. You have that really awful looking botch. Gable doesn't catch him on the dive. It looks like he takes a boot to the face, like a really wicked collision. Then they start doing apron stuff, and I didn't know what this version of Penta was. Like, I'm glad the post-match promo clarified it of this really cool dude who likes the fans and the fans like him because he didn't really feel overtly dangerous. I associate Penta with being this incredibly exhilarating, really dangerous feeling wrestler. I wasn't scared of him, nor was I really that excited watching him here last night. Say Penta, just for argument's sake, it got pretty damn good at the end. The Destroyer looked great. Gable did a really good job of selling the arm, and as people have pointed out, well, let's see how that is followed up because AEW never bothered. And I'd like to see WWE bother with this, right? To build it. It can be built again. Say, for argument's sake, Penta wrestled 100 matches in AEW. I don't know how many he did specifically. Say he wrestled 100. Would this crack the top 50? No, it absolutely wouldn't. It absolutely wouldn't. So why are people jacking it over this Penta? It wasn't that good. It's the AEW tax. I've said it all along. AEW for too long was too good for its own good. And now people are spoiled. And I'm one of them. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm one of them. This, honestly, I watch this. And because I'm a dickhead, in my head, I know the exact moment where I think it's going on too long. because it feels like, right, Penta's making the comeback, and then it gets cut off.
Yeah, I noticed
dragon
that.
screw.
Leapt out to me.
In my head, it was called the dragon screw. DRAGGIN'.
So good.
Because it was like, oh, God, they're keeping going.
Sidgwick's homophone humour.
Indeed. And it's like, right, okay, Jesus Christ. Oh, we're still going. Then luckily, the last 2 minutes were really, really strong. I'm watching this match thinking Chad Gable's overrated. Seriously, I just didn't think much of this at all. And I was astonished. And it's like AEW tax and that when you're hot, you're hot. I was like, oh, thank God Penta's in the Fed. He's like, you hated him 6 months ago. And now you're enjoying an inferior version. And look, give it 2 weeks. The rust is all gone. It might be really good. I was far from blown away watching this, and I could scarcely believe the level of praise that's generated, at least on my timeline.
I was
like this home run idea. People were f***ing going on like it was Takeover Dallas. Are you shitting me?
I will share Sidgwick's sentiment. I didn't expect to log on and see such unanimous and glowing praise. I was like, that was good. I've had a nice time. I've got very little negative to say, but as I've just said, my positives weren't exactly like sort of that sense of euphoria they get over like a home run segment or anything. You really hit upon something for me there when you mentioned like want away stars, and obviously we know Ray Phoenix.
I'd be desperate.
Ray Phoenix and Starks to be one. I think this is an example of when we talk about when both shows are good or the best versions of themselves. And I think Dynamite's been good this year. Remember in like 2021, well, 2019 through to mid 2022, let's say, the idea was, finally I can get over to AEW and be the best version of myself. I can be the best wrestler. Because that's what the matches were expected out of you. The quality of the work was expected and the booking was to be trusted and all that sort of stuff. But the matches especially, it was like, oh, he's got the handcuffs on in WWE, but when he gets over to AEW, you're going to get the matches. And a lot of the time that was true as well. The reverse of that is now true of promotion, marketing, and presentation, which is what WWE are better at. Like Starks and Phoenix.
Downgraded his theme.
But
It's a weird
who
cult.
cares? Who cares about that theme when the building is that hot for it? Like I couldn't even hear his theme. It was trash.
It was trash.
I can't sing his AEW theme to you either. Do you know what I mean? Like, and what I can think about is like buildings going quiet for it. And like
Meadow meters in the ring. It's better than that.
Like all I heard was the Yarrow Meadow in the introduction, and then this is a problem. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not noticing enough of these WWE themes, and I should because I love entrances, and it's an integral part of their thing. And like, I'm not going to go back for some Def Rebel thing. I'm just saying the presentation of his character was exceptional for a building full of people that either don't know him or just like have only got a catchphrase to latch onto. The promo was what made me feel somebody that knows Penta and like actually wants to relate to
him. The promo was great.
Yeah, and it was like a reminder that they got the building and the timing right, because there was like a lot of that building that were like understanding what he was saying. And again, this is like a feature of modern wrestling in general, that wrestlers are just being allowed to speak in whatever language they want and the most comfortable in. And sure enough, it gets over anyway.
Yes.
I'm so glad we're through that.
Well, WWE is. AEW isn't, and it's pathetic.
Well, but I think like it's better. Like all of it's better than it used to be. I think. But you know, when you say about Ricky Starks watching this at home, and Ray Phoenix will be the same. Like, God get me there, as it used to be the other way around. God get me there for the matches back in 2021. God get me there because I just want to be presented like a star. Like I think this was quite a like not even a reminder, because we know that one show's hot there. However, I do think there will be countless wrestlers. It works both ways still, because you get a Ricochet, for example. He's making it work. But they're both... The AEW is where the best wrestle. Like
I just find all of this staggering. It's like celebrating a player getting his Champions League move to the big Champions League club and then turning out like not great performances because you don't have to. My brain will never be wired to process this. I just will never get it.
We talked a little bit about this in the office, about the line Michael Cole used where he was like...
Oh my God, he spoke to Penta earlier today. Did he hear that?
I did, yeah.
Jesus
Twice he said that.
Christ.
Twice said. I was chatting to Penta earlier today. It was like, I can't visualize that, Michael. No, he said at the end, as Penta got the 3, like, welcome to the big time, or whatever the words were. And I was like, yep. Absolutely, this is the big time. Promote yourself as the big time. AEW, we're the best wrestler, and actually prove it. Say in the middle of an Ospreay match, you're not getting this on Netflix.
You're not getting this on Netflix.
Like that's
Ospreay's not in his retirement home yet. Like, give it back.
Give it back and be the best of each other. Like so WWE are right. This is look at this building. This is the big time. But then when Ospreay's doing what Ospreay does, or Kenny Omega and Brian Cage on Wednesday say halfway through, like this, you are not going to ever see this on Netflix. Like, you're only going to get this on HBO Max, not any other streaming services. Whatever whatever the line is, do that and lean in on it, because that's what WWE are going to do and should do, because it was made evident when you were watching it, regardless of a match quality that I don't disagree with you, Sid.
Yeah, great promo afterwards. Jackie Redmond chats to Penta. He thanks the fans, calls this his new home. He says everyone's been waiting for this, but the truth is he'd been waiting for this moment. He also talks, as you mentioned, in Spanish. He shouts out his family. They're in tears in the front row. That was lovely to see.
Nice accidental symmetry with Chad Gable's kids being in tears, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a good point. He says it's a new era in WWE, but it is the new era for Penta as well, and the crowd are just loving it.
That was the best bit of me. That was where I felt something. I was like, you could just do the debut match, or you could just do a video package, or you could just do a promo. You've done all three. Like, this is a red carpet rollout of a new star, and week one at least, you can't fault the conviction. I have my doubts that Triple H will see it through long term, but this is it. I've got a lot of praise for the rollout, even if I was somewhat unmoved by the match itself.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement. It's just can't fathom this. Like, can't fathom it. Never will.
What is, because if we're using the match was just a match. Like, what was the last rollout of a character that AEW did that was as successful as this as a one night sort of thing?
There's a one night. They did a massive big swing for Mercedes money.
Yeah,
like, let's make her look like. I mean, she didn't, and maybe the weight of expectation really crushed her.
It worked for like 6-7 weeks.
This is it. I know. That was just the timing of it was weird, like really, really weird. But the conviction was there. The conviction was there.
Like, if she'd have main evented that show as well as doing a promo at the top of it, if she was like fit to work and it was a good match or something, then you'd have had this whole one night.
I mean, I'm talking more about the conviction rather than the quality of the execution, because I wouldn't pay money to watch Mercedes Moné promo. Yeah, you know what I mean? I wouldn't, and I thought it was a bit odd, but the conviction was there.
Companies that have strengths play to them. I would like AEW to fire back this week.
I think their pageantry is completely piss poor, and I hate myself for using 3 P's in one turn of phrase. And that's just you put this. It's again 100 Penta AEW matches. This is what the 70 bracket alongside that disaster you had with CM Punk, maybe. Wasn't that bad?
Yeah, there was a bit of better way, that horrendous botch in the story, because it was so horrendous. It was like, well, we can't pretend that didn't happen because the whole world saw it and we fell on our ass.
We go to the back. There's Street Trash, Judgment Day, whatever you want to call them. Liv and Raquel come up, and she's like, "You talking about me?" Finn's like, "Yeah, I was saying, you're definitely going to get the title back, Liv." Liv says, "Actually,
quite like this.
It's more about the title. It was more than just about the title. It was about taking a piece of Rhea that she'll never get back." And he's like, "Why don't you two sort this all out?" And Dom walks in. He's got a bunch of roses. Liv says, "She's not mad. She's not bothered. I'm not in a mood. Bothered. It's fine." Dom's like, "Oh, thank goodness for that."
That's good.
I love that he believes her. Like, he's smirking at Finn. Let's see, no trouble. Dominic wins again.
Finn's like, "What are you doing, mate?" He's like, "She said she's fine." You don't understand women, do you? Because she says, like, "Thanks for the flowers. Can you sort the car and sort the valet and to make sure nothing goes wrong tonight?" Take the flowers, Carlito.
Raquel looked like she had a bit of sympathy for him.
They Street Trash, Finn, Carlito, and JD say we're going to get the tag titles back after I beat Thingy tonight in the main event. And Dom asks Finn if he wants him out there. And he says, "Nah, sort things out with your woman first."
I don't know. I don't think WWE have got a visual gag like this in them, but maybe they do. Maybe one writer's been given this as a little task. But it struck me that the Netflix Clubhouse is like week by week becoming less of a clubhouse. Like, remember the peak of the Judgment Day, like R-Truth's getting them the CRT telly, and you're like, it's ridiculous that this travels building to building, but like, look at their stupid grotty little den. It's like a freaking dartboard and the video games.
It's like Gallus' pub.
On a production truck, and it's like the stable's falling apart, the clubhouse is no longer what it was. Like, they're trash, they're proper. There's no belts anymore. Like, this is this is crumbling. The Judgment Day are dying in front of you.
What was on the 2K screen behind
Dominic Mysterio's character model
with a 1 star? Did I see that? Yeah,
I think it was like a pause screen. So the implication is, it's like, oh, Finn's here and lives here. We best pause the game, and who we playing? That's Dominic Mysterio.
And he sucks.
Yeah, but it looks like trash. It's I don't know. That could be a choice. Or it could just be.
I think so.
Like the sort
Probably
of
a choice.
Yeah, nice that. This was funny.
Fun. We go to again. I never know when I'm reviewing this now whether our American viewers, podcasters, etc., actually see some of these things. The PFC get interviewed. They show them taking out Kairi Sane.
Problems mounting in the Pure Fusion Collective.
They all want to become IC champion ahead of the inaugural.
Get over then.
Yeah.
And
It's not hard.
We get a nice clip.
Doesn't look it at the moment. Come on.
Like, exactly. What's your problem?
You got 3 hours and like a whole new belt to fight for. Get over. Zoe Stark versus Lyra Valkyria for the belt could be a decent match.
Nice little mechanical action.
Yeah.
No solar, no heat.
Zero heat.
We get a great clip, if you've missed this, of the Philadelphia Eagles slot trying to do the pedigree. Not so good, Al.
No. It looks rubbish.
And we see Braun Breaker and Daniel Cormier in the crowd. He, of course, what's the finish? Always got a nice flashback to the fight pit for that one.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Nice. Big Fed fan, isn't he?
Yeah. He would steal promos, wouldn't he? That was one of his things, that when he was getting big, Daniel Cormier, am I thinking of the right guy? Wasn't he? Didn't he know his way around like a Dusty Rhodes or a Jess Ventura promo? Who am I thinking of? I don't know. I get my fight.
A UFC fighter who cut wrestling style promos.
Yeah.
That was
What are you talking about here?
what's he called?
Chael Sonnen?
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen. Yeah.
Sonnen was the guy who did wrestling promos.
Yeah.
I feel like I would hear them on Ariel Helwani podcast rather than see them.
Yeah. DC's great,
I
though.
don't listen to Ariel Helwani podcast anymore.
Peaked, didn't it, last year?
Yeah, that was it.
Well,
season finale when they had the punker on. What possibly could come from this? Boom, let's go ignite. We're going to show the f***ing Wembley fight.
that cool promo, man. It's a passion. F*** off.
I think we'd only been in Philadelphia like 5 minutes.
And I want to fly home.
Then Aurora, it was time for...
It's like, seriously, because we got... Obviously, it's just for the scene setting. We know we're privileged to get the jobs in that trip.
Yep.
But we've been on a plane journey that's never pleasant. The transatlantic flight's never pleasant. It takes ages because of horrific inclement weather conditions to actually land.
We were the last planes on the East Coast landing that day because of the weather.
Pissing it down. It's pissing it down. Murray's been sick. It's awful. It's like
that's not funny.
There's like a 90-minute wait to get your suitcases for some reason. Yeah. Then you get the Uber, and like I never like the drive from the airport to your digs because it's just I want to get there. You're peeling your bags off you because you're so wet, and it's like, right, okay, it's a really awkward time to land. I know it's a dream life, but a really awkward time to land. It's like, do you go out to eat, or do you just get some shut eye? Oh God, I've got to watch Dynamite for work. Turn it on. Yes, tomorrow will be good. Edge is talking about a Raw speech. Down.
Don't worry, we got Jay White.
Is that the right ups
Billy
and
Gunn to
downs?
come.
Well, that's a down and straight away.
And you can't be that angry when there's like America outside your window, can you?
Nah.
It doesn't let you. It's like, well, look, there's America out there. What have I got to be miserable about? Is this
Because there's a Canadian cutting a Raw speech on Dynamite.
I think that was the exact moment that me and Phil left and went to the pub where we watched Dynamite. And I was like, yep, this is why I edit videos.
Wasn't an awful night, though, all in all that night, was it, though? Because who did you end up rooming with?
Hey! He's fine. He's a good roommate, man.
Yeah. I know.
Everybody else had a single room.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Oh, that was...
Yeah, some people didn't get it at all.
That was a lottery, wasn't it?
Let's not save that for
Okay,
after.
yeah. You heard about this?
Oh, tell him, man.
Why? I don't know.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, I've heard it, man.
Remind us after.
Then it was time for Sheamus versus Ludwig. Kaiser. They beat the crap out of each other yet again. Kaiser does the running around the ring.
No one really cared either until the finish.
They did 10 matches ago, but I've seen it 9 times now.
Sheamus gets fireman's carry, white noise, gets a 2 count off that. In amongst all this, Kaiser grabs the shillelagh from ringside, but Sheamus hits him with a knee strike, so he drops it and it's gotten rid of. But Kaiser cut him off as he was setting up for the finish. Mocks Sheamus. He's setting up for the Brogue Kick, but Sheamus hits him with the Brogue Kick. 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, goes out and shakes hands with Pat McAfee. And, of course, we see Bron Breakker's there, and they get into it face-to-face, and Bron shoves them. This sets up their match at Saturday night's main event.
It sets up their match at Survivor Series. What are we still doing here with this?
The thing is, as well, like Sheamus, we talked about this.
That's one thing when AEW was hot in 2021. I have to deal with Matt Hardy, but then, there's fresh matchups and cool. They don't deserve to be hot. The Fed. They did, but now they deserve to be freezing over. What the hell is this? It's a loop.
Well, it is, yeah.
Where are they for Saturday night's main event?
San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Battle of the Belts, you mean?
He's got them there. This is going to be obviously a gazillion times better than the best Battle of the Belts, but
Obviously.
what was the good? What was the good one? Oh.
Battle of the Belts.
Wasn't there a good one once?
No.
I'm thinking
Was there ever a title change?
Rampage. I'm getting confused.
Sammy Guevara did a Canadian. No, Dustin Rhodes did a Canadian destroy to Sammy Guevara from the apron onto a table. That was tits.
Right.
And it was all downhill from there.
Is that what was that their before they had their respect to make them like tag team champions now in Ring of Honor? It was like, we're going back and thinking of the Destroyer days. Yeah. Like Bron Breakker's going to win, and that's sort of my problem. Is that we talked about this ad nauseum. The Sheamus Intercontinental title story is a good one, and it was.
Is it just in his head?
No,
no, I know, but
yeah, but is
the finish just in his head?
Yeah, I think so. The Gunther element of it was the best because they'd had these great matches, and you thought, well, when they get together again, maybe this is the mountain that only Sheamus can climb and all that sort of stuff. Doing it here, like it's a certain victory for Bron Breakker. So you lose the one thing that a Sheamus Intercontinental title match theoretically has, which is this drama about can he finally get it done. And I just think this is like, I think I'd have rather Ludwig Kaiser won this and got that shot at Saturday night's main event. Because again, I don't think Bron's losing either of the matches. But if we absolutely have to go back to one of these singles matches, let it be that instead. Sheamus has John Cena as a rival for this. I've never won the Intercontinental title, and it's the one thing I've got left to do in 2025. So having him definitely lose at Saturday night's main event isn't helping that case either. It's not great booking. It's a match that will probably deliver on the night.
It's the most basic booking I've seen in my life.
It's
worse than basic.
I kind of wanted Bron Breakker to wrestle.
Yeah, me too.
You're holding back on. This happened one time before with Bron last year. Do you remember?
Too many times.
It built to something because it was a suspension thing, and it resulted in him going nuts, and that was kind of what unlocked the Bron Breakker that has kind of made the most sense on the main roster. But there does come a point where it's like, this isn't booking, this is just depriving. Some Bron Breakker, please.
Anything more you want to say about?
They hate each other really hard, and not many people cared until the finish. And I think this booking's atrocious.
I think this.
What he gets away with so much, does Levesque.
Can we get away from this hitting each other hard on every show, please? I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. WWE, it's a disease that has infected modern wrestling. It's like, well, who's the hardest? Well, I know who's the hardest. It's John Moxley. He tells me every week. Like, every fucking match, it's a chop battle. Or like, ooh, who can
forehead to forehead.
Oh, God, who can have the reddest chest? Well, do you know who never had a red chest? Wrestlers that fought Bret Hart. It looked more real than it does when you two are out there having a dick measuring contest. It's so boring.
I'm bored.
Seth's backstage. Kathy Kelly walks up and talks to him, and a match is set for next week. Seth versus Drew McIntyre.
So happening at Mania, yes.
Seth says he owes him for last year's Mania, so he's looking forward to it.
Drew's got a punk like, no, we're all right. How the fuck I get out of fighting Seth? I saw the whiteboard and I don't want any of that.
And lovely Sami Zayn approaches Seth and says, look, if you ever need someone, tough loss obviously last week, I'm always here for you. What a nice guy Sami is. Seth's a dickhead. He says, yeah, rough week for me. We're good for you and your boy, eh? Huh? Oh, Roman Reigns, guys, doing a foul about you, dickhead. You helped him last week like you did. Whoa! Jesus!
It's all on the reflexes.
Thank you, mate. I helped him last week that you did it.
That was impressive to me.
No, that's why I said that's why I'm Jack Burton.
Like Nash catching that cup.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Jack Burton.
Jack Burton.
I've seen Big Trouble in Little China, mate.
No.
That's where
we've talked about this a million times. Do you not listen to me?
That's a quote.
Okay, mate. I thought you were just saying your reflexes were good. I thought you were just
it's like Jack Burton's.
In
Big Trouble in Little China.
I'll give it a look.
That's the coolest thing I've ever done. You ruined it.
And worse yet, Tidge, it was on a close-up of Wilbourn too.
Oh, you're joking. Well, for listeners, for context,
make this one go.
the paneling fell off the wall, and like a cat, like Jack Burton, I caught it.
We need a What Culture Vault channel now, like the Tom McGee match getting out.
Yeah.
We've got the rushes of Sidge catching the wall.
We don't. He's just said he hasn't.
Yeah,
Catching the wall footage.
sadly not.
Wall, brother. Your boy got his Ulaf Balor back. You helped him like you did at War Games. Huh? You helping him
That was good for a while.
Why are you going to help him win the bloody title as well? Why don't you help yourself?
I make the Booker T enthusiastic noise when Sami Zayn's on screen. Yeah! Like, I get so excited because this is the good stuff as far as I'm concerned. Like, Seth Rollins, again, the development of, like, I don't even know if he's definitely going to turn heel, but they've obviously, they're giving you loads of suggestions that he might.
to Sami Zayn.
But, like, it's still Seth Rollins and he might, the idea of all this means that he might not, in his effort not to be Drew and not be a Punk and not be that sort of guy, he actually stays babyface. But I quite like them being able to use this potential heel turn for the Sami Zayn story. This Sami Zayn stuff's great. You get like another illustration a bit later on with the bang average match that we get out of it as well. But like Sami Zayn, I've tweeted this. Sami Zayn has now aspirations to the world title that are being planted on him by other people to make him think about it because he's one of the few characters in this, like, narratively speaking, ultra competitive landscape that can think of others first, and then he's kind of being forced to think about it, and then he's such a good wrestling actor, for as low bar as that is, that you can actually see the thoughts going through his head of maybe it is my time again. Elimination Chamber was 2023. Maybe I need to find that fire again.
Maybe he wins Money in the Bank.
I want it much sooner, mate. Otherwise, I'll give you it, yes. But I want it much sooner.
Every year.
Elimination Chamber's back in Canada. So if not the Rumble, which is on the horizon, you've got Elimination Chamber to play with. Where you're
desperate to take the title off Cody, aren't you?
I kind of am. But this is my point, right? A second champion. He has got stories with Cody Rhodes, if you want to do it.
Yeah.
Gunther, the man that he beat at WrestleMania, if you want to do it. He's also got stories with both number one contenders in Jey Uso and Kevin Owens. That's how good the booking of the Sami Zayn character is, and indeed the wider WWE top-level booking for all of these things to make completely logical sense on the road to WrestleMania with two shows in which he can either win titles or win the WrestleMania title shot. It's brilliant, this. Like, the time to lock in Sami Zayn is now. Fantastic stuff.
I mean, I don't think he's doing anything significant other than the Kevin Owens match. Do you want the title off Cody?
I want Zayn and Owens for the belt.
Oh, going off, am I?
Going off Cody? No, I'm kind of in the mindset of the more big matches, the better. And when you hear Cody Cena, you're like, well, that could happen without the belt. And when you hear Owens and Zayn, you're like, man, that'd be amazing for those two. Imagine them two for all the marbles. Yeah. Like, it's more of a fantasy than reality. But
that WrestleMania 37 to now, that'd be really cool. I don't really get the chance to talk smack because I'm, it's your little self-indulgent deal on a Friday and a Monday. They've kind of knackered my investment in Cody Kevin Owens. I'm like, the ladder match should be good. That's where I'm at emotionally now. The ladder match should be fun.
It was pretty weak on Friday.
Disagree. Loved Friday. Me. Do you know what time it is?
You could have got so much
on. My watch isn't working.
Well, everyone's got a mobile phone, mate.
What is it? That's all right. It's Tiffy time. That's what it is.
I was going to read my messages if you're going to do that to me. I've got two.
Oh, there you go. Update.
Nothing for you, pal. I thought it's my business. I think they could have went way more bold with Cody Kevin Owens. I don't think they really knew how good it was going to be when they booked it.
I said yesterday it doesn't kind of feel real anymore.
It's
done. The crowd,
done.
Big table spot, and it's like, I think you work harder at what this brawl. You have a fight if you want to fight around, but fight into the car park and just whatever. But it's
done now. It is done. Yeah. I don't think they knew how good it was going to be.
They do. The best thing about what remains of Cody Kevin is the fact that it's a ladder match. Because if you're beating Cody without getting pinned, and Kevin Owens wins out of a sheer desperation grab because somebody has ran in and pushed Cody off the ladder. Sammy's help. But like a ladder match is a way. I was just saying the ladder match is the best remaining element of this because you can sort of see Kevin Owens scampering up a ladder to win because someone or something has forced Cody out. I think Cody probably gets the belt.
Cody's winning it.
But Zayn and Owens again.
Pasty bet?
Nah, I'm not that. Yeah, not that committed to it either.
Then.
I'm enjoying entertaining both sides, but not to the extent of a pasty. Serious business. Zayn and Owens having a singles match without a belt is great as well. And even if that's the outcome of this, and you do get to Zayn for a title after maybe he wins Money in the Bank, I might give you that. But either way, I love this.
There was an interview with JD McDonough and Carlito, but I'm fairly certain it's just during the ads. They're just winding people up, obviously.
Put this on telly, Jesus.
But then the star of the show's here, Karrion Kross.
Oh my God.
He comes out.
Except they've kind of screwed him.
He comes out of Postman Pierce's office. Miz is there. Wyatt Six
He's so fit, Karrion Kross, isn't he?
Hunkney.
He looked really hot last night.
do any facial hair combo, and it looks amazing. He says that. Yeah. He says that the White Six have been moved to SmackDown.
That's so funny, isn't it? Imagine getting the White Six around the table to negotiate deals.
I know.
It's like Retribution when they were Raw
the
exclusive.
transfer window.
Yes.
Fabrizio Romano, here we go, Wyatt Six.
Who sat down at the table?
Here we go, they're going to SmackDown.
Was it Uncle Howdy? Was it Nikki Cross? Like, which one of them was like, you do the talking for us? It's like, okay, Mr. Really Spooky Clown Man, we're looking at a 3-year deal with options.
Have they gone to SmackDown, or did they just get confused talking to Uncle Howdy? What's that? You're talking in riddles, mate. I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I love that. You've illuminated how stupid the Wyatt Six kind of are and continue to be and will be in the future. You kind of screw Karrion Kross, but at least they're keeping him with The Miz. I love like he's in trouble when no one's looking. He's going to like kill him. Not because people are like witnesses. He just stops doing it, like with Sami Zayn. If I find out you did anything about this, I'll kill. I'm not going to kill him. No murders.
He's the best, isn't he?
I love Karrion Kross.
It's very
if
funny.
I find out you ever need to do this.
Luckily for The Miz, Sami Zayn showed up. Otherwise, nobody would have noticed on the Netflix.
Yeah.
Sure that he was going to murder him.
But the Fed sucks, man. I told you this.
It's actually the best use of the invisible camera. Karrion Kross, once again, elevating something bad. I don't actually mind. They lost to the Wyatt Six. We're done.
Yeah.
They lost the Foo-Ed. They did. And this is fine for me.
Couldn't care less about the Wyatt Six. Zayn
It
approaches.
must be bad if it's the Fed and you're like, so the Wyatt Six, Natalia.
Sidge, I'm getting not only Wilbourn back on board with the Wyatt Six, I'm getting him actively pleased because can you imagine how scared Pretty Deadly are going to be of the Wyatt Six?
Yeah.
Oh
I'm back in the game, baby. Yeah,
Johnny Gargano and the White, like this Johnny Gargano and the Wyatt Six.
Oh, yeah, it's going to suck.
That's the best. Zayn comes in.
I'm pretty scared of those guys, Tommaso.
Zayn comes in, says, Postman Pierce in there. And Kross says, do it. I overheard what you said earlier. And Miz like, hey, Karrion, what do you think about Sami Zayn winning the world title? And Zayn's like, no one cares about you. No one even thinks about you. You're just Karrion Kross's lackey. Miz depressingly confirms, I've had the World Championship twice, which is 2 more times than you've had it. And Zayn says, I was going in there to have a few words with Postman Pierce. And now one of them is a match against you tonight. He leaves and Miz turns to Karrion and goes, God. Now we have to deal with Sami Zayn. And Karrion Kross goes, we? Just leaves walking away, laughing.
See you later, Miz. I like this. Overlap with an easy win, and you've got a guy that can say, like, you think I'm an easy win? I've done something you can never do, you big fat loser. This is how you use these wrestlers. Good pieces on the chessboard, whatever.
That like Karrion Kross.
We see NXT champion Obafemi
Oh my God.
in the crowd. More on the NXT preview later on today for that one, of course. And then the World Heavyweight Champion comes out, GUNTHER. He talked about the spectacle of last week's show, but when it comes to performances in the ring, I was less than impressed. He said he wished that we had a roster that could fulfill his high expectations. Everyone fights over drama, like who's head of the table or best in the world. The only thing that matters is the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeet! Out comes Jey Uso, San Jose Sharks Yeet shirt, presumably now available at shop, that's our one, www.shop.com.
You can't buy it at shop. WhatCulture.com.
WhatCulture.com/shop. You get mugs like this one.
Get loads of stuff.
Yeah. He comes out.
Imagine that.
Better stuff.
That's better than the AEW campaign. Right, you can get loads of stuff. Like I think that is stronger than their marketing.
He says,
could we do a Reet t-shirt? Reet.
Why I?
That's a great idea.
Reet?
Love that.
Yes.
Chase.
You design them.
Yeah.
They'll buy them.
Yeah. Build it, and they will come.
I'd get one.
Jay said he heard Gunther wanted someone to care about the World Heavyweight title. Well, he's looking at him. Main event, Jey Uso. Drew's behind him, bloodline drama behind him. Now he wants to face Gunther at Saturday night's main event. And Gunther just laughs and asks if he's serious. He takes off his glasses. He takes off his glasses and yeets. And Gunther says, I admire your courage to challenge me. Look, I'd be naive to think I can hold on this World Heavyweight Championship forever. But you're even more naive to think you can take the title off me. Let's not forget we fought for the IC title twice and I beat you. I know what you're capable of, and it's less than what I'm capable of, which is a nice way of putting it. You're funny and entertaining and all that, but when the bell rings, I'll expose you for what you are, a really, really talented tag team wrestler. You're not on my level. Main event's a nickname to you. To me, main event is where I belong. Yeah, think about it, but I think you should stick to your yeets and stay out of championship business. Look, SNME, fine by me, but it's up to you. And he leaves sort of chuckling to himself. And Jay says, yo, Gunther, hold up. He respects Gunther. Everything he said is true. He's better than me. He's not supposed to be here. You know, I'm just a tag team guy, all that. I was scared to do this alone, but the fans came with him and he bets on himself to earn respect. And at Saturday night's main event, Gunther's going to respect Jey when he beats his ass for the world title. And everyone yeets along with it.
I thought this kicked all kinds of ass. Like we, on the podcast, I like to think we're praising Gunther's promos a long time ago, but I still think he's underrated as a promo.
Yeah.
You don't see enough praise for how fantastic a promo Gunther is. In every sense, the pro wrestling sense, the fight selling sense, the sports entertainment WWE sense, he nails it. Or he's a 10 for me, because you do have to deliver the big killer lines for the video packages. You need to do the Triple H thing of finding the connections and actually making it sound like you're speaking like a normal human. Only certain wrestlers,
I think it's not Rob Fee, that kind of thing.
Well, maybe, but like, you know,
That's what he's called.
Yeah, aye. But the performers themselves are always gonna like, and it's the difference between a CM Punk, for example, and a Seth Rollins. The idea of the promo recited in the mirror versus the one that you just feel like you're saying. Gunther nails all of it. It's fantastic. I just loved what they chose to drill into here. There's more faith in WWE now than there used to be, but that tag team line in particular is not one you can use with everybody, but you actually absolutely do use it with Jey Uso. Like, once upon a time, that is just, that's WWE burying the tag division again, but Jey Uso's whole deal, as he later went on to explain, is that there is a latent insecurity within Jey Uso that Yeet manages to obscure, that he'll never be anything other than a good tag wrestler. Now, the truth is that I love Jey Uso and he probably won't be a great tag wrestler on his day, but the singles matches have never materialized. So the truth of that is something that you can believe from Gunther, while simultaneously kind of backing Jey to.
He is a former Intercontinental Champion.
He is a former Intercontinental Champion, but you know, it's that little whisper, isn't it, that outside of rule-proven exceptions against Bron Breakker and the like, that the matches never stack up. So he can mask his insecurity by being this massive star, and then Gunther can pick at that, and ultimately it's the way that he probably definitely beat him on the night, but Jey Uso then being like rattled and fighting through how rattled he was, like a good babyface should, to show bravery and pride and belief and all that sort of stuff, to the point where they've actually flipped the dynamic, and it's not Jey Uso asking for a shot, it's Gunther offering it. I thought was like such a really impressive back and forth that made this like instantly credible, when if you think about it, Jey Uso believes he gets a shot because he stole one off Drew McIntyre last week. That wasn't at all in your field of vision.
It evaporated that. I would describe this as really, really, really well delivered build of a match that you can either take two ways. If you're cynical, negative, you can say this is a match that A, is thoroughly, completely predictable, and B, might expose that this Saturday night's main event deal is not a good thing if you're WWE, that I just think they're recycling matches and combinations and characters in certain positions. I think it's just going to expose that they don't have the depth to be doing this additional venture.
Need additions quick on this roster.
They need additions quick on this roster. I think this match, no matter how well built it was on this night at least, really does expose that. Some of it's just an episodic TV problem, and I talk a lot about wrestling sucks, guys, and you need to realize this before it's too late. It's just with no off season, you kind of have to do this kind of stuff. You can't, like, well, it's WrestleMania, you can buy a title change there on a Saturday night's main event. What can you do realistically other than this kind of thing? And maybe I should be less critical of this specific version of it. I mean, it's up to the creative, I guess, but I think it's a fundamental flaw within this no off-season model, which I've spoken about extensively. This is a well-delivered version of something I can't be arsed with, and I will refuse to be worked by, ultimately.
Time to crown the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion. There was a great video package for Lyra, Valkyria, and Dakota Kai before this, plotting their history. And then we get down to it. I thought this match was amazing, to be perfectly honest. There was a really nice vertical suplex off the apron early on. Felt like this match probably is the one that lost a bit of time because of the Penta running over thing, and yet they crammed it all in here.
Why? Like this Raw
yes,
went like,
me and Andy said the same
They've
thing.
been saying forever, oh, they're flexible, they're flexible,
Yeah.
they're flexible, they're flexible. They're really going to be flexible with these Netflix runtimes. They're good. News about this Netflix deal is that allows them to be flexible. Cover time. What hard out. What are you on about?
I don't get this at all. I couldn't help, like, I read that and I was thinking this feels like a bit of old school brother in trying to bury the new guy from somebody feeding out who's forgotten that there's new rules. You can't use that one. You know what I mean? Like, I was just, maybe just every match went the runtime it was supposed to, and somebody in the locker room has forgotten that Netflix. Or, WWE, stop using the old model. Do what you like.
Well, there's surely a maximum, but it's not going to be like 2 hours, 29 minutes, whatever this was.
You bollock the rest as if it feels like been out there too long. Yeah. But, like, it wasn't so egregious as Penta and Chad Gable, was it?
Yeah.
It was getting there, but not really.
But yeah, really enjoyable stuff. This, like I say, suplex from the apron to the floor. Then there's a bit where Dakota Kai ducked a spin kick, go for that scorpion kick thing of hers, but Lyra caught her and lifted her up for a powerbomb, but Dakota turned that into a Rana. There's a running boot in the corner and a flipping backstabber for 2. Valkyria blocked the GTK though and hit a running sit-out powerbomb for 2. There's a spin kick by Lyra, goes up top and hits like a rocker dropper off the top for a nice near fall there. Kai comes back with that scorpion kick, a diving foot stomp and the GTK, but Valkyria just rolls out of the ring before Kai can make the cover, so she goes after her, chucks her back in, and Valkyria dodges that running boot of Dakota Kai's, hits a sling blade, the Nightwing, 1, 2, 3. Lyra Valkyria is your inaugural Women's IC Champion.
I'm a wrestling fan that is guilty of being worked by a wrestler that might have like 1 or 2 great matches instead of 10. Or like several good ones, but no great ones. And then, like, I, as a fan, know that I allow wrestlers to coast on reputation, or I'll develop that kind of like support for that wrestler and thus want to see that flash, that glimpse that I once saw that then you just don't see anymore. But you're like, well, it was there once, so I'm still fighting for this title. I do that with a lot with wrestlers, and it helps a lot of the time because it like means I end up more engaged in wrestlers that sometimes haven't been well booked out. It's a product of watching 20 years of a terrible WWE, probably. Now I'm saying it out loud. This was the match that I almost needed as a fan for the weeks that I sit here and say, I think there's loads of potential in Lyra Valkyria, and I've really liked flashes of Dakota Kai's comeback, but you get so little television time as a woman in this company, or so almost zero storyline investment, and then when you do, if your match doesn't deliver that 1 week, you have to wait weeks to get another opportunity to even have TV time to approach anything close to it, or you get 3 minutes or whatever it is, and that's maybe sometimes an unfair expectation of the women in particular, because it's like, well, you got to hit a 10 out of 10 every week, otherwise out of the way, you. And that's not a problem that the men have to face. There will be way more chances. That's a long way around saying this was everything I believed Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria could do, but often didn't feel like I had the evidence to support. So it was still a surprise.
Yeah,
do you know, it was both. I really, there was such good snap to all of this, like Dakota Kai kicking with intent.
Yeah.
Lyra Valkyria, like, has got the fundamentals, and I've seen those fundamentals before, but it hasn't necessarily been there the last 6 months in particular. Started real well when she came to the main roster, flashes of it on NXT. They just put it all together.
It just worked.
It just worked.
It did. It was really good.
They put it all together, and it was like really satisfying and vindicating for it to happen for the Intercontinental title of all things. They are going the different, and you knew whoever was going to win, like babyface working champion is different to Chelsea Green. So you've got that contrast already established no matter who wins. But off to the races with this. Like, really, really terrific bit of business. And I felt like, my enthusiasm and investment hasn't been wasted on these two all along.
I thought this was really good. A really, really, really good urgent dogfight that felt like it. I mean, magicked up this idea of the Women's Intercontinental title being prestigious. Lest we forget, I'll remind people of this all the time. It was introduced in a dark segment that they just stapled onto the Raw format sheet, you know? It didn't feel like it had a chance. This was, I imagine, like, Dakota Kai's got a fans, a lot of really sympathetic people. I'm not like, I have no loyalty to a lot of things. Like, you're very different to me, brain chemistry-wise. Like, if you just like a band or love a band, you'll just, if they have a 6 out of 10 post-peak run of albums, you go, there's some really good stuff on there. I'll never listen to them again. Very different people. So
you get to see them live, and then they'll play the stuff you loved, and
I won't go see them live.
The stuff more, so.
Dakota, I'm not fighting for Dakota Kai, but she really, really impressed me.
Really, really good stuff. This
was proper working in the sense that it told a lie about a division that you have to believe for a week. Yeah. It's not the Intercontinental title division's cooking. It's like, well, let's see how the next 6 to 10 weeks of this go. But first
both
night at least
really wrestled like it was an urgent, momentous title fight. That really came through in the work. Really enjoyed it.
I think this was during the break again, but I want to mention it because it's the New Day. Kathy Kelly interviews them, and they're pissed off at Rey Mysterio. He's no leader, they say. My mother still won't talk to me, says Kofi. Is he doing something different with his facial hair as well?
He's trimmed the moustache that's just there.
I don't like it. It looks weird, which is probably the good thing for them.
I like Kofi Kingston's been unable to put anody off just thinking he's a cool guy for like 15 years or whatever it is.
What have you done? But Xavier announces they're going to return to action next week.
Oh my God.
And Kingston tells everyone to be careful what they wish for. And Xavier says, "You got any more questions?" Kelly says, "Yeah, I do actually." Oh, out of time. Piss up, Kathy Kelly.
Not before time. Like, get on with this now.
Yeah,
I've been losing faith in this.
Yeah.
So
then Sami Zayn beat The Miz. Anything you want to say about this? It was 4 minutes. He hit him with a haluva kick and a blue thunder bomb.
The finish is not an accident, is it? He almost never wins with that, and they're showing you the level. Sami Zayn is above The Miz and should be thinking of himself. He can beat people with a move that he almost never wins with. He should be thinking of himself as a champion. It does service the finish service the story that they're telling with Sami.
No Karrion Kross, so you don't want to talk about it. Rhea Bloody Ripley comes out.
Jesus Christ.
She says, Mammy's back on top.
Oh my God.
Why do you touch that button?
Just happy to see her with the world title again, mate. And says she might sound like a broken record to some, but she's Rhea Bloody Ripley. One of the most dominant women in WWE. Once again, the women's world champion. And then my queen shows back up. Queen Nia.
Oh my God.
Nia Jax interrupts.
Did we literally do this exact point last year?
What, Nia and Rhea?
Yeah.
I don't care. I love it. Nia says she can't take this anymore.
Stinks.
This was awesome. The reaction she got was so good. She was in the back talking to Postman Pierce about the transfer window. She couldn't help herself. She had to come out and talk.
Can't keep getting away with this.
What is the transfer window?
I don't know, Dr. Fed.
Is it different?
Why don't you prescribe me an explanation?
I will do that right now, actually. Smart ass. I think they think a transfer window is just a revolving door, come and go as you please, not an actual signing. Like, it's an opportunity for people to sign, such as if the White Six get around the table. But otherwise, like, you've seen Bayley, it looks like she's sort of starting to find her feet a bit on Raw. She was meeting with Adam Pearce last week. I think it's, in the meantime, it's just, I can do whatever at the moment. Like
a trial. You have a trial.
Yeah, like it's open season for the contracts. So, like, they all say it. And because it's never been explicitly stated what it actually means. Like, Ressa, what are you doing at transfer window, isn't it? Like,
well, you can go in and out of a window, I suppose, can't you?
That's what they think.
Have you ever gone in and out of a window?
My burglary days, yeah. Fair bit.
There was that viral video last year of that woman where her trousers fall down. She's trying to get in the window.
top you're thinking of. I've never seen it.
You've seen everything.
Anyway, Nia joins.
Such a funny video.
The mate's just stood there pissing himself.
I can't.
I'm laughing too much.
Because you're stuck.
Yeah.
It's so slow. I just can't do anything. I just got to let it happen.
So Nia joins Punk, Seth, and Drew in announcing she's in the Royal Rumble.
Regurgitating the storylines that they've been involved in for months on end.
She's going to take whatever title she wants. Tiffy might think she's at the Tiffy top. Or Tippy top. Mammy, same. Bayley, I don't know what you're doing here. Bayley's in the crowd. She's interviewing her. She's like, I live here. And Nia's like, yeah, we should be from this crap town that we're in. There's only one person top of this division. It's me, not Rhea, not Tiffy, not Bayley. Bayley's like, I've had enough of this. Jumps over, confronts Nia. It's not your show. It's my city. Say it to my face, you big old dumb idiots. Nia just shoves her, then shoves Rhea, and Rhea's like, oh, headbutt. Bad idea. Nia, wham, lays her out. But Bayley comes back and hits Nia with a knee, and Rhea gets her out of the ring. There's a little moment where Bayley's like, I'll get your title for you, Rhea. She's like, I've got it, thanks very much. But I really liked the Queen in this one.
Yeah, the rest of this was awful, and Nia Jax was really good. I said this in the office. I never imagined I would be like, God, good for you, Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Like, of all people. Like, the TV run definitely stands up for itself when the pay-per-view run was kind of a disaster. Tuckerino, City Jones every single month. But then, like, on SmackDown, she defended the belt. It was half decent.
She had some
like,
really good TV matches.
Yeah, I was like, it's a strange run, but, like, fair play, Nia Jax. And I never just thought I'd say those words in a sentence, because she comes out now, I completely believe it. She knows this character. She knows how to use her size as a wrestler and in segments like this where it's like, I'm the monster of this division, not you, Rhea Ripley, but when I'm not around, yes, you can be the monster. Like, really, really, like, knows herself and was stronger here than Rhea Ripley and Bayley by half. Like, this was a bad segment. This was a bad segment.
Arena.
They almost, like, tried to hang a lampshade on this. Oh, we're back to Rhea Ripley just doing nout. Like, it's this dirty little secret. It isn't really a secret, isn't it? Like, outside of Liv Morgan's story, like, Triple H loves booking Rhea Ripley to do all. Like, he's made a star, and somehow the formula for keeping that star as big a star is to do nothing. Like, she'll get a WrestleMania food, she will.
Becky's coming back probably. Yeah.
Street Trash is over. The Terror Twins are kind of done unless they kind of have any mixed tag business down the line. But they just don't. Like, Rhea Ripley doesn't wrestle much, doesn't have fooheads, really. It's a weird phenomenon. And it works, so I can't fault it too much, but it is weird. Bayley's the number one contender for the SmackDown Women's title, keeping a hand in, I guess, by staring, like, eyeballing the world title.
She said, get it done to Postman Pierce last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, she's moving to Raw. So they've kind of, twice on this show, actually, I'm going to pick on something here. So Bayley's not going to beat, we know this anyway, but Bayley's not going to beat Tiffany Stratton, and Jey Uso's not going to beat Gunther, because Jey Uso's in the Rumble, and Bayley's setting up something with Rhea Ripley. So a bit of telegraphing there.
Oh, there's loads of it. This is yet another aspect.
Gunther could take Jay's spot in the Rumble. Whoever loses goes in the Rumble. That's what they'd say.
That is what they would say, yes.
Just yet another aspect of the show that just feels numbingly, crushingly familiar. It's a lot of this is really repetitive, boring slop that they can't keep getting away with, and yet they do because of you two.
Because of us specifically.
You are the avatar.
Because of the band U2.
The avatar, you two.
I watch the Fed and I do feel, whoa, the sweetest thing when it's a good roll.
This is just, oh God, I hate you so much, man.
Yeah, this, Sidge thinks this feels like an episode of Elevation, but of course that doesn't exist anymore.
Where the Yeats have no name.
I mean, that's good stuff.
Thank you. Yes, it is good stuff.
It's all good stuff.
It's all good stuff. Sidge, like, these days, we've talked about this a lot in the office. Like, he's just like on Twitter, like, wrestling, I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
I have. It's Kenny Omega.
Oh, yeah.
This is all about Monday nights. I'm sat there the day before going, Sunday, bloody Sunday. That's what I'm thinking, so. Main event time. Street fight. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
This has been going on for 12 years.
I went into this match, I thought, and I was like, oh, well, at least it's going to be over. And then I had a really good time with this match.
I had a good time with one spot.
Yeah. This wasn't bad, actually.
This was far better than I expected.
Yeah, me too, but the bar was through the floor.
Yeah, I suppose. Priest comes out, and then he's got a kendo stick, but Balor attacks him, and the ref's like, yeah, fair enough, let's get on with it. They fight near the announce tables, flatline onto the table. They brawl into the crowd. There's trash cans getting wailed on each other.
Should have been purple.
They fight. I thought that's when I saw it. Oh, it's not purple. He's going to be disappointed.
Finn Balor can't use it. We learned this at WrestleMania. He's got the purple weapons. Edge has got the red ones.
Oh God,
that's how you know whose weapons whose. Oh God, Finn Balor's brain's falling out. Why are we seeing him in an Edge? I get enough of his like veiny forehead at the best of times.
I get it right on Dynamite and Collision.
Yeah.
It started well this year, you know. Well, started
It's still
tentatively,
fine, I reckon.
tentatively well this
You
year.
didn't watch Collision. Yeah.
I saw the Hangman Page promo, and I saw a shared clip of Jericho versus Dax. Everything but the all-important like main event picture. I think it's in decent health in AEW. Like, genuinely, like...
Decent.
Decent health.
Decent.
So they fight into the stands, and they're fighting over the barricade, and it looks like, oh, God, Priest's going to fall off. But no, he grabs Balor and hits a broken arrow, big fall through some tables. I did like the fact that the crowd went, yay! And then saw a stretch go, boo! So they're trying to wheel Finn Balor out of there as Priest sort of makes his way to the ring, and Postman Pearce is there, and also obviously JD and Carlito are checking on Balor. Priest's like, no, I really still want my revenge, actually. So he goes, takes out Carlito, takes out JD. Balor is just strapped to the stretcher. What you doing, Damian? I'm going to kick your ass. Beats him up. And this is just a happy coincidence. He beats him up and he rolls him down to the ring, and the stretcher bangs into the apron, and Balor spills off that and just rolls straight into the ring. That was just...
When you're hot, you're hot. I loved how good that looked, and it's like they've got no right.
Yeah.
Like...
So in goes Priest after him. Again, he's just, I've just been on a stretcher. Huge clothesline to you, dickhead. He goes to...
There's something immensely satisfying about him still having the neck brace on.
Yes.
The more spots he could do while still wearing the neck brace, it's that stuff. Like, you can't do that to him, but you can. It's all right.
Yeah. He signals for the South of Heaven, but Carlito comes in with a backstabber, and JD and Carlito double team him. JD hits a moonsault. They help Balor to his feet, and he rips the neck brace off and hits a coup de grace, but only gets it 2. So Carlito and JD set up a table. Out come the War Raiders, though, to take them out of there. And they're both, Priest and Balor, slow to get up. Sling blade by Balor. He grabs a chair and just breaks it over Damian Priest's back. Grabs another one, sets it up in the corner, and then sits Priest in it, wraps the chair around his head. He's going to drop kick him, obviously. Hits him with the edge of the chair as well. And he runs it in. But Damian Priest, whilst he has a chair around his neck, which was a cool visual, hits South of Heaven. He tries to raise his edge Finn Balor through one of the 2 tables set up outside the ring, but Balor gets out of it and sets Priest up on it and coup de grace him through a table. Priest responds by tackling Finn Balor, boom, through the barricade. He raises edges him through the table, rolls him back in the ring. Huge South of Heaven, I'm not my father's keeper, he says. 1, 2, 3, he's finally got revenge on Finn Balor.
The coup de grace through the table was awesome. It's the old Yoshihiro Tajiri death finish from ECW. That looked class. Yeah, like an over-delivery, truthfully.
Yeah, it really was.
Elevated by, like, genuinely how much they were into it. Like, fair play to Damian Priest and Finn Balor, because they must know that this is a little bit out of juice. They must know. And yet, the fans seem to forget, or at least give them the benefit of the doubt once they got the first few weapon shots and got them into it, because they were loud for all of it. So, like, the atmosphere, I think, really helped. It did feel like the right atmosphere for a big plunder fight. There's now worse that when they're smashing out each other with weapons and you're getting out.
Yeah.
People were with this. The run-ins and stuff were well timed. I think you got enough after.
They know what they're doing with the Judgment Day with this sort of stuff.
Once the War Raiders had chased them off, you still got like something that felt satisfying. It wasn't just rush straight to the finish, whatever. Couple of nice visuals that I didn't see coming, like the chair acting as Damian Priest's neck brace from Finn having a shoot one on. I didn't think they had this one in them to pay all this off, and they did it. Like, Damian Priest still remains a bit of an enigma because he goes into the Rumble and definitely won't win and doesn't feel like he's WrestleMania bound outside of maybe winning the Andre.
Bad Bunny's coming back.
But that could be a unbelievable, like a gift from the gods for Damian Priest. That could be
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Logan Paul and question mark.
Oh my God, yeah, all day. Why not?
That would be good.
That would be them two as friends again, having had the fight and earned each other's respect at Backlash. There's like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I like we've seen it earlier.
Damian Priest wants to be praying for that.
Yeah.
Like, this was good. This was good.
I was really shocked. There was a nice bit of thought. Try to do a nice little iconic visual with the chair stuff around the neck. A really wild spot to really catalyze the main thread of the match. I was really sports entertained watching this. I was truly sports entertained. Penta's match was the 3rd best on the show.
Let us know your
Smash
thoughts.
smash debut, home run.
Let us know your thoughts.
Trez, miedo.
I just said, I can't fathom You know what? If you go back to a Raw review, I think it was the New Day turn Raw.
Yeah.
And I said, Levesque has nailed Death Tough Daling book, and he's taken that narrative elegance just away from AEW, and it's so well booked, and there's so many good developments. I'll never love it back, and god damn, I can really appreciate it. I don't know where that's gone. I really don't know where that's gone.
Slips through Booker's fingers, doesn't it? It's like you can't just rest on your laurels with stuff like this. And we always say Bookers have runs and stuff. We'll see. The WrestleMania season,
a lot of this.
WrestleMania season is going to be awesome, but like I fundamentally still do agree that there is and it hides it. Good matches, largely entertaining Raws, hides it. You never can quite see that like the golden era of any period is over. Kind of when it already is. It's like months and months later. The extra hour of SmackDown, the extra Saturday night's main event, this extra content because content is king and blah, 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 And WWE has proven its worth to all these like sort of paymasters and they're like, the patterns are always the same. Like all of these things are ultimately undoing unless you make the changes while you're still in it. This needs an influx of talent. This needs new people pushed. You cannot just sit back and not use a Bron Breakker. There's more to it than just I like seeing Bron Breakker wrestle. It's like, go with people. Like now is the time to go with people because you've got your tree, but like your top line is starting to feel like you've seen it all before a little bit. The NXT influx like needs to be of like a high quantity and quality.
You get Rich Holland in.
And we'll see if that's there. We'll see if that's there. A few more signings wouldn't go amiss, like the Ricky Starks thing or whoever. Like need to be presented as strong as Penta was. It's
They got Mally Black coming, your favourite.
like Triple H is the only guy that made me like him, so we'll see.
Oh god,
you know what I mean?
One of the million things.
He was one of the million things. Yeah, that's the only time I've liked Tommy
I'll
End
give you
ever.
that.
Like,
you did like him.
You're
You're not just going to pretend to like him.
Yeah, oh Christ, I would never pretend to like Malachi Black. Jesus Christ, but yeah, he was good in NXT. So maybe there's one more run there. I don't know, but and a fresher roster than what it feels like right now, I think is necessary after WrestleMania.
Now, if anything.
We'll wait and see. Let us know your thoughts on Raw in the comments.
I think you'll find it wrong and it was goated as usual.
or on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow all four of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
I'm Sidgwick.
Follow our brilliant producer Adam Nicholas at
It's Adam Nicholas.
And you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. We'll be back later on today to preview NXT. But for now, this has been the Raw Review. My thanks to Hamflett Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.